With the huge success that is Deadpool and Wolverine, it's not just about a financial success, it's about a recognition success. So the movie turned over, it made, not profit, it made 1.2 billion at the box office at the moment. And it hasn't exactly got the highest budget ever. So from a financial point of view, Deadpool and Wolverine was very successful. But this is going to stem to the future of every other Marvel Cinematic Universe project. Because this tells actors, talent, directors, so on and so forth, that Marvel has still got it. But when it comes to talent and recruiting very big actors, it also tells them that, yo, you can bring loads of big actors in. They don't have to be chained to a 10-year contract, and they can just do a one-off role if they want to. So I think you're going to see a lot of bigger, more prestige A-listers actors going forward, potentially in Avengers Secret Wars and Avengers Doomsday. So you might just get the Leonardo DiCaprio Iron Man. You might just get the Tom Cruise Supreme Iron Man if they give him some creative director control, because you know how it rolls. So, although there is a lot to look forward to in the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, with Avengers Doomsday, with the Fantastic Four, so on and so forth, still, Marvel has taken a trick from Sony PlayStation's handbook, which is you don't really say much until there's a lot to say. So as we know, there's a lot of projects that's going to happen in between and before Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, because they don't want a case what happens when they release Avengers Secret Wars, when the universe reboots, where the only movie they have realistic that makes crazy money was Spider-Man No Way Home, grossing just under $2 billion, is they're going to set up a lot of stuff. So even if they do a major reboot, they can still have movies that can bang to a certain degree and have movies that are guaranteed to do well because they are love actors and love characters in the MCU. So I don't believe the whole Secret Wars is going to kill everyone off. It'll reboot a lot of stuff, but it's not going to reboot everything. So there's been a huge leak. Well, it's not really a leak, let's be honest. There wasn't much information about new projects at San Diego Comic-Con back in July. Was there? No. All right, D23, realistically, there wasn't much either there. But a recent leak, stroke report, whatever you want to call it, lads, has suggested a lot of things that we already know and a lot of things that you guys have said in the comment section about what Marvel Studios should do going forward. So, yo, what is freaking good YouTube? What's you on Neuro? Make sure to never miss any of the Marvel, DC, Kaiju, Monsterverse, pop culture-based content that I try to cover on a daily basis. If you could subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and let me know down below, what are you most looking forward to outside of everything that we already know? So we know Kevin Feige always says stuff like Marvel works 5 to 10 years ahead of time. So there's so many projects in the works that we don't even know about. And there's so many projects that have already been in the works that are basically dead and cancelled, like Mahershala Ali's Blade. That was announced back at San Diego Comic-Con in 2019, and we're now in 2024, and it's looking like we're going to get a Wesley Snipes legacy version of Blade, which, due to how popular it was in the Deadpool movie and how much Ryan Reynolds is actually pushing for it, and seeing as Wesley Snipes realistically kicked all this all off, because without the first Blade movie, this whole cinematic universe wouldn't even exist, let's be honest. So the movies that are allegedly coming out in between 2026 and 2028 and beyond are pretty good. There's some that I didn't like the first one, but maybe the second one it may work. So apparently there's going to be a second Shang-Chi movie, which, okay, from a narrative storytelling point, although I thought Shang-Chi sucked from a narrative point with the bangles and how the bangles were going to be used by Kang the Conqueror, I'm sure Doctor Doom will have to have Kamala Khan's bangle and Shang-Chi's bangles. So it would make sense if Shang-Chi 2 would come out sometime before Secret Wars, but sometimes after Doomsday. And I'm not totally against that movie. I just didn't think it was a very good movie. So allegedly, Shang-Chi 2 is going to release sometime towards the end of 2026. Allegedly. So apparently there's a movie called Armored Wars that was supposed to be a Disney Plus series, but seen as a doubling back on the Disney Plus series, allegedly. I don't think Armored Wars is needed personally, but it's on this list that's apparently a slate for 2026 to 2028. Beyond, realistically, I don't think that movie is needed at all. The movies that I do think are needed aren't coming out for a while yet. So as we know, the end of Multiverse of Madness, we got Clea coming back to Doctor Strange, saying, "You've caused a recursion," and it looked like they went to the Dark Dimension with And it looked like we've seen that movie. So the release date here says 2027. Now, I really think Doctor Strange 3 and Spider-Man 4, which is allegedly is coming in between Doomsday and Secret Wars, I really think there should be Spider-Man 4 and Doctor Strange movies in between. Why? They're the most popular characters. Sure, Doctor Strange 2 did just under $1 billion. It had a lot of issues, and the last Spider-Man movie did great, obviously for nostalgic properties. Now, we know they're saying that Spider-Man 4 is not going to be... It's going to be grounded, but in a multiversal-based story. Doesn't necessarily need Toby or Andrew, but a lot of people point on that. Realistically, because of the end of Multiverse of Madness, we really need Doctor Strange 3 before Secret Wars comes out. Realistically, if you want to say that. And realistically, everyone loves Doctor Strange. Everyone loves Spider-Man. So I do believe them two movies should release before Avengers Secret Wars. But as we know, the current release date is 2026 for Doomsday, 2027 for Avengers Secret Wars. But according to this leak or report, it would have the release date of Doctor Strange 3 coming out after Avengers Secret Wars, which could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. I think a Doctor Strange movie is a very safe movie, so potentially that's why they're going to do it. But if they're going to address the problem that happened at the end of the Multiverse of Madness, which was incursions, surely after Secret Wars, there'll be a new universe anyway. So the next one on this list is Thor 5. Now, a lot of people hated Thor Love and Thunder, but a lot of people loved Thor Ragnarok. Same director, just they took an L. They really went to the goofy side, and they had such an omnipotent villain, Christian Bale, and they took the L and they utilized him and chucked him away, basically, which was so bad. Could have been a great movie. But Thor is so easy to write. He's never really learned a lesson, so he finally needs to learn a lesson. Having this movie come out after Avengers Secret Wars is a very safe bet, because most Thor movies gross over $700 million. The same with the Doctor Strange movies. So it's a safe movie, and it's a fan favorite, just like having a Spider-Man movie coming out after Endgame did something for the MCU. So the next one is a property that everyone wants, Scarlet Witch. Apparently that will come out sometime in 2028. A lot of people want that because Elizabeth Olsen is amazing. Everyone loves the mummy of the... Did I just say that? Yo, Warstu, the mummy of the MCU. And apparently she's going to have some continuity to do with the Vision Quest show, have some kind of reference in the Vision Quest show. And she's so omnipotent, she could have taken Thanos out by herself. So just because this apparent Scarlet Witch project may not release till after Avengers Secret Wars doesn't actually mean she won't be a pinnacle part throughout Avengers 5 and 6. We know she's returning at some point. So also, Midnight Suns is on the list for 2028. Now, Midnight Suns, it would make sense if we got a Blade movie before then, because that's kind of like, you know, the dark side of the vampire side. I mean, there's been a Marvel Midnight Suns video. I mean, most people should know what Midnight Suns is, but that would utilize a lot of characters that necessarily haven't been introduced fully yet. But a lot of people, I've done a few videos on Midnight Suns. A lot of people basically want this movie already. But as you know, Doctor Strange is part of Midnight Suns, and you got Ghost Rider, you got Hellstorm. In fact, there's too many to list, but there's Morbius, there's in the Jared Leto one. Well, that's the only one we've had. But there's a lot of cool characters, and it depends what alliteration they do. I mean, Agatha Harkness technically could be part of it. Dr. Voodoo, Blade, Elsa Bloodstorm. A lot of people have wanted that movie. And then there's also the case that allegedly Avengers versus X-Men is going to be a movie after Avengers Secret Wars, because we're going to this mutant saga. But apparently this mutant saga information was supposed to be released at San Diego Comic-Con, but we didn't get any of that. A lot of people seem to think this Robert Downey Jr. reveal was really last minute and it came out of blue. No, they had that lined up for such a long time. They really did. But I mean, if these properties are true, and if this is the way they're going, a lot of these properties I think would do very well and would bring faith back to the fandom. As I said before, Armored War's not really a big fan of it, but Shang-Chi 2 would make sense with the Bangles, and you know, there is some connection there with Kang. And as I keep freaking saying, you can't throw Kang away. There's got to be some connective tissue. And a lot of these properties, minus Armored Wars and Shang-Chi, are pretty safe. But realistically, we don't know if this is true, but a lot of these projects are basically already unofficially confirmed, but it's just when they come out. As I said, putting Doctor Strange 3 before Secret Wars, Spider-Man 4 before Secret Wars would make a lot of sense. Thor 5 come out after Secret Wars. It's a pretty safe movie. And realistically, after Endgame, Marvel had nothing. They tried Shang-Chi, flopped. They tried Eternals, flopped. I know I'm going to get hate. Even Black Widow flopped because it was like 5 years too late. She died in Infinity War. Why do people want a prequel? They didn't. I know what people say. It came out at the wrong time and because what was happening in the world. No. Godzilla versus Kong did just under 500, and literally that is not even close to being as big as the MCU, is it? No. So like always, guys, let us know. What do you think about this? Which properties would you like to see? When would you like them to come out? Obviously, there's our rumors of a Young Avengers movie and Ant-Man 4, but we don't know. I'm just covering a report that's going around that I thought was kind of interesting. So like always, guys, check us out on Instagram at Warstu, check us out on Twitter, Warstu. And I will catch you in another, guys, very soon. Catch ya later.